cheap mic shootout. Today we're testing 3 microphones, each under $100 on acoustic guitar and vocals.
Yeah, I bought 3 mics. Each one costs less than $100.
If you're thinking of picking up a budget mic, this video is a must-see. I'm Keith from No Label, No Producer, NoLimits.com. Let's go. Today, we're recording acoustic guitar and vocals with 3 separate microphones. We'll start with acoustic guitar. I'm putting the microphones in the same place, about 18 inches away from the guitar. The mics are pointed at this spot on the acoustic right here. And as closely as possible, I'm going to match the recording techniques with the microphones. We'll talk about the mics as we go. For now, let's get started recording. So here we have the 2 takes from each microphone pan, left and right. Here in this golden orange is the Bai Fei Li BF414. The Behringer XM8500 is in purple, and in green we have the t.bone SC400. In addition, I have them all run through this spectral analyzer in the same color scheme, orange, purple, and green. Let's take a listen to them one at a time without any effects and see what we think. Let's compare them on the frequency analyzer by playing them all at once. Here's something that I noticed right away. There's some low-end information in both the SC400 and the BF414 that's not really necessary. It's below the lowest note on the guitar, and the Behringer does not suffer from this. It rolls off those ultra-low frequencies. In terms of the high end, it's the opposite. The Behringer starts to roll off at around 9 or 10 kilohertz. And by the time it gets to 20, it's gone. However, both the BF414 and the SC400 maintain those high frequencies further up. Now, listening to those individually, you could hear, and it'll show up at one point or another here. Let me do this again. You'll notice that the Behringer has some presence peaks up here in the high end, not the ultra high end, but up here in the high end that carries it through. And that's why it sounds a little bit brighter. So here are my thoughts. Right now, the SC400 doesn't sound close to what I would like the acoustic guitar to sound like. We'll see how it handles EQ and compression. But it's muddy, kind of in the low mid-range, which is the area I'm going to scoop out of the acoustic guitar anyway. If I was going for a very mellow sound, I might use it. The Behringer sounds closer to what I want. It doesn't seem like an incredibly detailed sound. And although there's a presence lift in the mid-range, I don't think it's in exactly the right area. Now the BF414, of all 3 mics, sounds the closest to me. However, they're all a little bit muddy, so let's see how they take EQ and compression. I've EQ'd and compressed these to taste. Let's take a listen again. SC400. Now, which microphone that I like would really depend on what I'm using it for. For instance, if the acoustic guitar was kind of like an electric rhythm guitar part, I'd probably go with the Behringer. The reason is it has a mid-rangey sound, which is right where the acoustic might fit if it was playing the role of the main rhythm instrument. The Bai Fei Li sounds more detailed to me, and it has a high end that's in the right place and extends up higher than the Behringer. The SC400 is my least favorite of the three, although it would sound better than the Behringer for a detailed sound. Now, I've used the SC400 on plenty of recordings of acoustic guitar, and it takes EQ surprisingly well. It's not a bad sounding microphone at all, but I believe I just prefer the BF414 in this instance. Well, that's my pick. For this particular rhythm guitar part, I'd choose the Bai Fei Li BF414. I think it has a little more detail to the sound.
I just smile and say, I'll be there in no time. So I just smile and say, I'll be there in no time. I plan my getaway, gonna leave all this behind. No, I'm not gonna stay, gonna hit the road and feel the wind upon my face, my mind, instead of living this slow life. I just smile and say, I'll be there in no time.
Type home recording in the comments to get more information on the Home Recording Mentorship program. Let's see about vocals.
Yeah, I bought 3 mics. Each one cost less than $100. Had to sing it twice. My interface only has 2 inputs. Nothing high and sing something lower.
So here I am with the 3 recordings, same color coding, and I have them run into this spectral analyzer as well. Let's take a listen to one at a time by themselves. Here's the 414.
Yeah, I bought 3 mics. Yeah, I bought 3 mics. Yeah, I bought 3 mics.
If we listen to the SC400,
Yeah, I bought 3 mics.
there's something in the upper, well, the kind of the mid-range area that I like. It sounds very smooth. The Behringer
Yeah, I bought 3 mics.
has a little presence that the SC400 doesn't have. The 414,
Yeah, I bought 3 mics.
it sounds balanced. So I'm looking for 2 things when I'm recording vocal mics. I'm looking for a balanced sound tone-wise that's something close to what I want to end up with. And I also want to know if it's harsh on sibilance or if I'm singing higher notes, if it sounds nasally. So first let's check out sibilance. That each
Each one.
sounds good and balanced.
Each one.
All 3 of those sound good. Let's see if I can find an S.
My interface.
Super good, nice and smooth.
My interface.
Those are all fine in terms of sibilance. How about the high notes?
Nothing high. Nothing high. Nothing high.
A 414 still has a lot of presence there and warmth at the same time. Let's check them out on the frequency analyzer.
Nothing.
So there's a few things that you notice immediately. So up here in a very important range for both clarity and harshness in the vocal, we see the Behringer and the Bai Fei Li boosting up much more than the SC400. And then again, same with the acoustic guitars, the XM8500 drops off, starts to drop off at around 9 or 10 kilohertz, and the other 2 mics extend beyond that. Once again, in the lows, we have some extra stuff. The lowest note I sing is about an 80 hertz, I think, right around here.
Now sing something lower and more.
So this is the lowest note that I sing. So anything below that, this 50 hertz stuff is unneeded. And the Behringer, the 8500, seems to deal with that best. In terms of tonality, I would say the 8500 is the closest match to what I'm looking for.
Yeah, bought 3 mics.
But the Bai Fei Li has more detail.
Yeah, bought 3 mics.
It has that presence lift in the ultra high end. Let's take a look again at a midpoint here.
Now sing something lower.
There are points in here where the SC400 seems to do better with these mid-range frequencies, somewhere around 1K. Seems smoother to me. Okay, let's listen to them in the mix, starting with the BF414.
Yeah, bought 3 mics. Each one costs less than $100.
Now the Behringer.
Yeah, bought 3 mics. Each one costs less than $100.
It just cuts through. How about the SC400?
Yeah, bought 3 mics. Each one costs less than $100.
Something about the lower end of the high mid-range is smooth on that mic. But the rest of it, I don't like so much. Let's go to a high note.
Nothing I. Nothing I. Nothing I.
The Behringer cuts through the best. The Bai Fei Li is the smoothest. How about the low notes?
Sing something lower and more intimate. Sing something lower and more intimate. Now sing something lower and more intimate.
The SC400 is the smoothest on the low end. The Behringer cuts through the best. The Bai Fei Li has a big boost down there. We can take care of that with EQ. So that is the 3 mics in the mix. Okay, let's do some EQ and compression and maybe some other effects and see if we can dial in a sound for each one of these. The fastest way to get better at your home recordings is to have a mentor. I have a program, the Home Recording Mentorship Program. There's a link below the video. Check it out. Okay, let's listen to these tracks, processed, reverb, delay, etc. We'll start with the SC400.
Yeah, bought 3 mics. Each one costs less than $100. Had to sing it twice. My interface only has 2 inputs. Nothing I. Now sing something lower.
Here's the Behringer.
Yeah, bought 3 mics. Each one costs less than $100. Had to sing it twice. My interface only has 2 inputs. Nothing I. And sing something lower.
Compared to the SC400.
Yeah, bought 3 mics. Yeah, bought 3 mics.
Something different in the upper mid-range there. I like the way this one sticks out. But that ain't bad. The SC400 isn't bad. How about the Bai Fei Li?
Yeah, bought 3 mics. Each one costs less than $100. Had to sing it twice. My interface only has 2 inputs. Nothing I. sing something lower.
I think there's a little something in the high end on the 414, which isn't quite right, but could be helped with a de-esser. The Bai Fei Li just sounds a little more present.
Yeah, I bought 3 mics.
So I'm going to declare it the winner. So we have the BF414 as the winner for the vocals and the acoustic guitar. Let's talk about these mics a little bit. The Bai Fei Li C414 is about $80 right now. If you're in Southeast Asia, you can find it under the Bai Fei Li brand. If you're in the US, it's probably under the ProAR brand. And I have the 34 millimeter capsule, and the 25 millimeter capsule probably would be a little better. It wouldn't pick up the excessive low end that I picked up both on acoustic guitar and vocals. It is a large diaphragm condenser microphone. The SC400 was 43 euros last time I checked. An incredible bargain for a decent microphone. That's available from Thomann. I will have a link below. But the real kicker is the XM5800 from Behringer. It is $30 on Amazon right now. Can you believe that? It was neck and neck with the Bai Fei Li. And there might be many cases in which I might use it. It's a dynamic microphone. They're all cardioid microphones. So you could stick this mic in front of a loud guitar cabinet, no problem. And I wouldn't be embarrassed to use that as a lead vocal microphone on a record. If you do record acoustic guitar, it makes sense to watch the video that's coming up on your screen. Now, it'll get you up to speed quickly, and it deals with the particular challenges facing the home studio environment and recording acoustic guitars. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment. It keeps the algorithm going your way. I'm Keith from No Label, No Producer, No Limits.com. Bye-bye for now.